y'all got in the Super Bowl? Who y'all got in the Super Bowl?
I got the Eagles.
I got Philly, bro. Saquon.
Yep.
You got Saquon. You got
Are
Jalen
y'all rooting
Hurts.
for the Eagles or rooting against Kansas City?
I'm
I'm
rooting
rooting
for
for the
the
Eagles, but I'm also going against Kansas City because I'm tired of seeing, like, I'm gonna be 100% honest, bro. This whole season, these motherfuckers went what? They only lost 2 games in this whole season. But the 2 games y'all lost, y'all got your asses smacked. Now, granted, the second loss, y'all purposely gave that game away. Everybody knows it. But then all the games that y'all won, y'all have never beat anybody no more than 7 points.
Okay.
And like
Do you
my
think that
thing
has
is,
anything to do with the fact that they've been to like 5 straight Super Bowls? Like
it hasn't
the
been
past
five.
5 years, they were always,
And what hasn't been five has actually only
or
been
no, they've been to
four.
5 straight AFC Championship games.
Yeah, they only been a four.
Only
Uh,
4.
Only.
4 in 5 years,
forbid.
bro.
God
4 in 5
forbid.
years, 5 straight AFC championships, bro.
uh,
Like my whole
but no,
thing is, I feel like people don't give enough credit and realize, yes, they may have had they have an easier schedule or they don't win by a lot during the season, but you've earned that when you've already beaten all 32 teams at least once or twice already. You already are getting given a shorter off season than everyone else because you keep going far. Like it's to the point you don't even have enough time to get a new practice locker room. Like they have a shorter off season, everything. Their body is more fatigued. They don't get high draft round picks. So it's like, why do we need them to keep proving themselves? They're already the proven winners 3 times over.
but then
Why
like
not
okay,
have someone
so
else?
so here's my thing though. Like even though like during the whole Patriots era when the Patriots was always going to the Super Bowl, they still was
Be
like
careful.
showing they were still. But I'm not. I'm giving y'all props. Y'all was still showing in the regular season though. Y'all not that team to be fucked with. Like y'all can still y'all was still blowing motherfuckers out good margins. Like y'all had maybe a couple close games with people, but y'all still had them games where it was like, yeah, no, y'all outright beat the shit out them motherfuckers. And that's my thing is like, here it is, 2 times, y'all back to back Super Bowl winners, about to go for a three-peat, but this whole season y'all have been playing like as if really like it's like, whew, we barely won that one. Like, and it was like, and that's every game. And it's just like I don't expect that from a Super Bowl, a three-peat Super Bowl team. That's like me. That's like, for instance, let's go back to like the Lakers back in when they won their three-peat, or the Bulls when they won their three-peat. If if they would have done that shit, and it was like them seasons when they was on their three-peat, they didn't play at like ass the whole time. They still played like, nah, motherfucker, we are the reigning champs, and we gonna show y'all why we the reigning champs. Yeah, we might
But
lose a
it's
couple
hard to
games.
compare a sport with 80 something games. Like you're gonna have to play everyone anyway. Like no one really focused on the strength of schedule for the regular season in basketball and baseball because you
That is
have
true.
82, 180 something. You have to play everybody anyway.
That
This
is
in
true.
this unique scenario when again you're that fatigued, you have a shorter off season, you don't have high draft picks, you've played everybody. Like I'm looking at it as someone if I'm the winner, bro, I beat everybody more than once. I've been to the Super Bowl the past 3 years. I've been in the AFC Championship the past 4 or 5 seasons. Why do y'all think I need to prove myself? It's your sorry ass team that's out here bitching and moaning. You prove yourself. Come beat me. Come play with the big dog. Why? Like if I'm just playing devil's advocate, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but just looking at it from that standpoint, everyone's looking at it from how they feel about their team and their team now. But if you look at it, what if it was your team in that position?
But then also too, like my thing is
What
with the
more do
season
you
as
want from
well.
me?
But then also too, the season you can clearly see they've been given their games. Like a lot of it, like they should have definitely lost against the Atlanta Falcons. I was gonna say Hawks, Atlanta Falcons. Like clear pass interception, like pass interference, not interception, pass interference calls that they missed. Like they should have lost. It's several of the games that they were literally given to, like because the refs was just somehow or another they see them on their side. But then also too, like I'm saying, it's a lot of missed calls on the Chiefs side. Like they literally have a lineman that will literally jump off sides. Like he would literally false start all the time, but yet they would never call it except for a rare blue moon when they're like, okay, we kind of gotta give him this one because like it's too much. But that's my thing. Like it's literally like everyone has seen it this season, where it's like the refs have been helping them win their games this year. Versus like it's not outright we're actually out here balling. Like we're still like we might be a little bit fatigued, but we can still get the thing done. And it's like that's not what you see then. Like it's
So
not really
that's
what
what
you
it looked
see.
like to me. Okay, so then let me ask you a question then, because two things. If if they're not as good as you said, like they really need the refs, and they're not all that, and we already have all the other context that we give them: the shorter off season, no draft picks, all that, fatigue, more prone to injury. You see them lost Pacheco. You see them. Who was the who was the receiver that they lost where they had to bring in Watkins? It don't even matter. The point is, everybody's dropping all the time. Why is it coming down to one play where the refs can even decide? Why aren't they getting blown out if they're not all that?
But that's the thing.
And the
It's not
other
even
thing
like
I want to know is, you're a Heat fan, right? I know you brought
yeah.
up basketball. Do you remember before, like when the how the load management thing in the league started and all that, back when the Heat were on their run, the Heatles, and they were going to back-to-back championships, and then all of a sudden they were like, we're not really pressed about being number one in the East. We could be seven in the East. As long as we get in the playoffs, we know what to do. And then you start seeing like the Hawks and the Pacers and all them teams be the number one. Is it fair to maybe think that's what the Chiefs have tried to do? They were like, hey, we're going to go out there. We're going to do what it takes to make the playoffs. If we end up still winning, we're here to win. But when we get to the play, that's when we really going to ball out.
But see, that's the thing. If that was the case, then like I could see them still being like they wouldn't have been the number one team this year though, but they were. And that's the thing. Like if they was like if honestly 100% on it, if like the Chiefs was
So
not
then
the
aren't
number one
they?
team,
So then aren't they like the Patriots? Then when you were saying the Patriots were just dominant, though, even when they were winning, they were
but it
still
was a lot
winning.
of y'all
Isn't that the
seasons where
same thing?
but it was a lot of y'all seasons though where y'all you still went to the playoffs, but y'all was not the number one seed though.
Right, but I'm saying you said earlier you were like, what the difference is when the Patriots were great and they were going through it. They after the Super Bowls they would still come off and they would still be dominant. They would still be the high seed. Well, that's what the Chiefs are. Aren't they just this generation's dominant dynasty?
But that's the thing. It's like it's this season you have it like to me personally, I don't really see a dominant team in them. Like I really feel like anybody could have beat them this
I'll
year,
put
but
it
it
this
really was
way.
like the
I'll
whole
put it
game
this
you
way
playing against
because
the refs.
and the only reason I don't like the ref thing is because that ref thing sounds good, but it don't age well. Because right now, everybody is on Tom Brady's dick. I can tell you, in growing up as a Patriots fan, everyone fucking hated Brady. Every game we won was the refs. Where you think Deflategate came from? People always used to, anytime you brought up his success, Spygate, people used to, oh, the refs gonna call a rough in the passer, or oh, Tom Brady got all day to sit back there in the pocket. But none of that shit aged well because when he retired, no one gave a fuck about the refs. No one remembered the refs. All we remembered is the results. It's the same thing with Jordan. You brought him up. People talk about him in the game winning shot over the Jazz when he did the step back, and they were like, didn't he push off and this and that? In real time, sure, this whole referee deeper thing is gonna sound good in real time, but it don't age well at all. Because all people really gonna remember is the results. And I think it's a dangerous game to focus too much on the rest because ultimately you end up overlooking the greatness that we're blessed to witness right now. This is our generation's Joe Montana, Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Well, I already have my Tom Brady moments, but you know what I'm saying. This is just the next generation of dominancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm careful when I critique people just because they're good. I don't feel like being good or winning a lot is a reason to hate you. Now, if you were an Aaron Rodgers where you were really good but you wouldn't win, but then you were always bitching about it and always talking as if you were the hot shit and you went, then that's when it's like, okay, I can critique him because he's always pointing to it's the refs, it's the coaching, it's personnel. They're constantly making
True.
changes to fit what you want, and you're getting the MVPs, and then that's it. You're not getting the job done. That I can critique, but you going out there getting the job done and people just not happy because you're beating their favorite team, It's hard to co-sign that. That's all I'm saying. It's hard to co-sign that. It may be hard. I know your team's never been good. You don't really like good teams, so it's hard to relate.
Mitch, what?
But
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's read this back. Let's run this back.
I had to throw that in there real quick.
Let's keep in mind, bro. Before we
Your
lost
team has had
Breeze,
one good season since inception.
actually, no. My team, like, okay, back when we had Breeze and we won that Super Bowl, every year after that, we've actually made it to the playoffs, and we were actually good. We had never had that much of a losing record. When we lost Breeze,
Yo, I'm gonna let you in on the secret, bro. If you don't win a ring, no one gives a fuck about you making the playoffs. You're just part
we
of
did
someone else.
make. Hey, but we still did. We did get that one ring. That's all I care about. We got one. Breeze got his ring.
That's what I
Just saying.
said. Y'all had that one season since inception.
But
Everything
also
else
too,
has just been a part of somebody else's storyline.
but also too though, we've had a lot of bad calls in the playoffs. That's what fucked us up from getting there.
Bro,
Am I not?
I don't even start with that bullshit because I was there with my roommate from New Orleans. Shout out my boy Cam. When y'all lost that game to the Rams because of that call that was missed at the end of the game. Nobody with eyes can deny that that was a missed call. The thing that y'all seem to always forget to mention is that y'all had the first in overtime right after that missed call and got out on like a 3-and-out. And there was no bullshit call that happened then. You just shit the bed. So that's what I'm saying. It's like when people focus too much on these motherfucking refs and the ref. It's like you miss all the other shit of the game. Yeah, the refs may have made a bad call. Why did you get a 3-and-out right after? Why did you not execute it? Even with everyone talking about the Bills thing and Josh Allen got that first. Josh Allen had like 2 more series on the field after that. How about the end of the game? He didn't call out the fucking cornerback that was blitzing downhill, and then he had to just fling the ball out in the middle of the field, cross body to King Clayton. He couldn't catch it. Like that, to just leave it as the rest, I think is a very simple argument, but it doesn't age well just because there's 48 other minutes of football that nobody was doing what they need to do to execute. Don't my advice, don't leave the game to the refs. Don't put the game in the refs' hands. If you really don't want the Zebras to do it, don't leave the game in their hands. What you think, Tay? You grew up a Cowboys fan. You a Lions fan. I know you're used to a lot of heartbreak. How you feel about this?
Damn.
This was a great call. Have a blessed Sunday. Thank you. I was gonna say, I feel like I mean I agree with both of you to a degree though, because I think the problem really is that when you lose momentum off of a bad call or a call that helps the opposing team, it is hard to fight back and get into that because it's like, what the fuck? Like if I'm Josh Allen, I'm going to get a first down and I swear I get this first down, and now it's like, what the fuck is all of this for? If the way that the game is like it can dictate the way games go, it can. And I think that a lot to Nigel's point about like, you know, the Chiefs and the bad misplays or, you know, just blatantly bullshit calls by the refs, you know, it's usually momentum shifting calls. So I think that does play a part into how the opposing team really shows up, because it's like at some point it's like, I'm going out there and I'm giving everything, and the refs are not calling the game fairly at all, and that can be frustrating as hell. So I mean, I don't think it's the entire story behind it by any means, but I think that there are certain games where it's like, well, the refs made some calls that really could have shifted the momentum of the game and helped light a fire under you know, the opposing team's ass and really get the ball rolling again. It's like, you do that, you're stuck, because it's like we're up and now we're losing by, you know, 7 points again because of a PI or because of a holding call or some bullshit. So that's I feel like it's,
but if everyone is agreeing that if everyone's agreeing that the refs are the problem, then didn't they walk into the game expecting that the refs were gonna be like, didn't you prep around that? Like, if you're a professional, right, and you're like, oh, we already know the ref's gonna be an issue or whatever, and they give you a bad call, but then you look up and you're like, all right, but we still got 3 minutes and we just got the ball back. So let's go down there and get it. Yo, we ain't got the refs, so we got to do what we got to do.
That's what I'm saying.
The plays that they had,
right. That's why I said
the
you're
game,
both right.
the refs
It's
didn't
not the
cause
whole
them to go 3
story.
and out.